Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Couch of the Dead horror movie podcast. We went out to the movie theaters today and we saw the brand new Osgood Perkins movie, Keeper, and I think I will.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Matt.
We are two die-hard horror movie fans who want to share our love of spooky cinema with you.
So please, if you dare, join us on the Couch of the Dead.
And we're back.
Hello, hello, hello. And what do we have today? So, today, creepy cocktails because it is Saturday night. And what is your creepy cocktail of tonight?
My creepy cocktail is a local moonshine company. And right now, tonight, I am drinking chocolate moonshine, which is an experience. It's actually really good. You wouldn't think it would be, but it is.
Yes, so we want to give a shout out to Hillbilly Hooch. There you go. And I am drinking Hillbilly Hooch watermelon. That's my flavor. And they are a local distillery, I guess. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. We buy ours at our local farmers market.
And for you guys that are local and maybe listening to us, the Fairgrounds Farmers Market is where you can get it, along with a lot of other great stuff. That's basically where I do all my food shopping.
Yeah. So the watermelon is really good. It's very, very sweet. The other one that is my favorite is the strawberry lemonade. What other flavors do we like?
Oh, I like pretty much everything. We're just going to see how far we can get through this without it getting off the rails.
Yes. So shout out to them. We want to introduce our third co-host, Necro Kitty. Necro Kitty has been really good this week. And what else? Keeper. That's our movie of tonight. We went to see it today at the movie theater. Also at the fairgrounds.
The old Fairgrounds Mall,
Yeah.
which used to be an awesome dirt track that they closed down in 1979, and I'm still pissed about that.
Yeah, he's still salty. So I have a synopsis from IMDb. It says a romantic anniversary trip to a secluded cabin turns sinister when a dark presence reveals itself, forcing a couple to confront the property's haunted past. Now, for those of you who watch all the way till the end, after our review, we will be playing a game and I will be asking him some questions for him to tell me what movies I am giving him clues for, and they all have to do with a cabin in the woods. So stay for that. See if he can guess the movies.
So this movie is directed by Osgood Perkins. This is his latest movie, and we are big fans of Osgood Perkins. The Blackcoat's Daughter,
Which
Long Legs,
which
The Monkey.
spoiler alert, we have an episode that is us reviewing The Blackcoat's Daughter. Right now it's not published yet, but it is out. And we're keeping it just in case we get like enough subscribers that we can do like a only for members, like a Patreon or something like that. But it's out there and it's a good one.
Well, it's not out there yet.
It's not out there.
It's
sorry.
in the ether.
It's yes.
So this movie is directed by Osgood Perkins, written by Nick Leopard, produced by Chris Ferguson and Jesse Savath, and it is starring Tatiana Maslany, who is
Rich.
one of the most interesting looking people. Rossif Sutherland, Burkett Turton, and Eden Weiss.
And Tatiana was also in The Monkey, was it?
Yes, she was in The Monkey. She's a really good actress. She really carried this movie.
She really did. Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff I liked about this movie.
Like what?
It
Without going into spoilers.
Well, the plot is very original. It is a slow burn, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
Got way into the movie and still had my suspicions about what was going on and kind of turned out to be right. But it still kept you guessing enough to keep you vested in it. It does have its flaws. And I'll get to that when we do our scores. But honestly, I don't think it's Osgood Perkins' best movie, but it's still a good movie nonetheless. I enjoyed it.
I think from a director perspective, it was very much an Osgood Perkins movie. It felt like one of his other movies in a directive perspective.
Visually, especially.
Visually and the timing, the pace, I guess. And a lot of the scenery, and there was a lot that you start to recognize from a director after you've seen a lot of movies, especially lately. We have seen a lot of his. So plot wise, story wise, I think it lacked a little bit, but again, we will get into it in the spoilers. I thought it kept my interest throughout. At some point, we were taking notes at the movie theater, which is always hard because it's so dark. And but at some point, I had to put my phone down and just like really focus on what was going on because I was very hooked. I was hooked.
So with that being said, I think this is going to be a little bit of a more intricate one. We're going to break this puppy down, and we are going to get into spoilers.
Okay, so you got your notes. I got my notes.
Lots of notes on this one.
Lots of notes. So let's see.
Well, we open up with again, my favorite thing. It's a montage of a bunch of women that we see. It looks like they're making eye contact. They're liking what they see, and then it kind of fasts forward to them being annoyed, almost kind of like the first time you see somebody and you like somebody and you fall in love, and then after you're around for a while you're like, oh god, I hate this person. And it cuts quick with a woman screaming. And
I will say that so we're seeing this from first person view. So it's like if the camera is the other person that is looking at these women. Yeah.
So the movie basically opens now with this new couple, Liz and Malcolm, driving through the woods. They are going to, they say it's a cabin in the woods, and they get there, and this is like a luxury cabin. Like this cabin is decked out. I mean, it's huge. I'm like, that ain't a cabin. I literally changed my notes from cabin to house because it's a house in the woods.
It's a very nice, I would still call it a cabin, only because it's very woodsy outside, and the house is made out of wood.
It's woodsy in the woods.
It's woodsy in the woods, and it's made out of wood. So that's a cabin to me. But yeah, so they get to the cabin, and we see Liz talking to her friend on the phone, and they're basically going over the gist of who is Liz and what are they doing.
Well, she's a not Liz, Maggie, their
Maggie's
friend,
her friend.
is a nosity uppity bitch who I don't think she can be happy for anybody. But yeah, she's kind of like, oh, it's been a year, and
And you
now he's
finally
finally taking you
taking
that
you.
he's trying to convince her that this relationship is not good.
Yes, she's even telling Liz basically you are his side piece, and that's why, which we don't really have any other context at the moment to even say yeah she's a side piece or not. um but there we are, and she promises that she's gonna call her at some other time later to like give her updates or whatever, and so you'll remember that. um I guess Malcolm was cooking fish, and they're at near the table or by the kitchen, and Liz notices a box on one of the tables. And what's this box? Well, it looks like a present. It's a brown box with like a twig tied up on the top, and it looks like some, I don't know. Did you think it was blood?
No, I thought it was chocolate.
For some reason, I thought, oh, they're like bloody fingers.
It looked
Okay.
like a chocolate handprint. It's a cake. It's a box with a cake in it.
Is it a cake?
Daddy's great. Give us chocolate cake.
Mm.
And
She ignores it. So then,
so she's looking out, and this house has a lot of glass. So
yes.
she's looking out the glass, and she notices an almost identical house right across from there, and she's like, who lives there? And
Mm-hmm.
he says, well, that's my cousin, and I don't see his car there, so he's probably not there, but he may stop by, and
Mm-hmm.
if he does, just kind of roll with it, because he's kind of an asshole.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a cute little part where he's opening this, I guess, piece of art. Um, we come to find out it is hers. He bought it at some gallery, I guess.
Well, that's where we find out later. That's where he met her.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
He bought her piece of
her
art.
piece of art. So he hung it on one of the walls, and then we cut to she is taking a bath in a beautiful bathroom that has windows, top to ceiling,
Mm-hmm. And
bottom to ceiling,
mhm. And
all glass.
before she got in the tub, she kind of breathed on the window
Oh yeah,
and drew a little heart in it, like you would in condensation.
because you're in love.
Mm-hmm.
Blech. And so now she's in a bathtub, and she hears humming,
Mm-hmm.
and it's coming from like the bathroom vent. And I guess she thinks it must be Malcolm. I mean, who else is in the house anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of loses herself in the bathtub. I believe she's having like daydream or whatever of
Yeah.
the water, because you can see a creek right outside the window.
And let me tell you, go to the bathroom before you see this movie, because there's a lot of running water in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it almost appears like an aura around her.
Yeah.
And then it moves to lots of shots of streams and waterfalls out in the woods, and this is a reoccurring theme. And the first sign of trouble we see is that in a little condensation spot on the window behind her, as she's kind of drifting off in the bath, you see a little half of a heart kind of draw itself on the window.
No, it was full heart.
Oh, I only saw half.
No, it's
I
full.
probably went and took notes on the other half.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So now it's dinner time, and as they were about to sit down, or maybe they were sitting down,
Yeah, they were just sitting down.
someone is like very insistent at the door. Uh, you know, ring bell and knocking, and he finally gets up.
Knocking
Malcolm.
like a cop.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. The cops never knock
No.
on my door.
Malcolm gets up, and we overhear it's cousin Dan. And did you notice that they?
Every time I see cousin, I just want to say cousin Eddie
Oh no, he just keeps.
from vacation. I'm like,
Well,
it's cousin Eddie.
he keeps
Shitter's full.
calling him. He keeps calling him. Oh, cousin Dan is here. Blah, blah, blah. And cousin Dan comes in right away. We can tell he's a douche.
Yeah, he's a sleazy dude.
And he brings
Smarmy is the word.
He brings a model.
And we know that because he literally goes, I think her name's Tatiana.
No, Mika,
Mike, something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, she's a model.
Yeah, so he's showing her off.
Oh, I was thinking of It's Only Sunny, Tatiana.
Oh, yeah. But he's kind of showing her off, and she seems a little bit like, and he kind of explains it, saying that she likes the Mollies, and that she doesn't speak English, and she likes Mollies. So then we are assuming that she's high. But immediately you can tell that Liz was annoyed. And as a woman, I could feel the energy. She felt uncomfortable because this model date Molly girl is smoking hot and dressing all like provocative, and here she is just wearing a simple, button down shirt or whatever.
Yep. And then cousin Eddie wants a word. I'm gonna call him cousin Eddie.
It's not cousin Eddie, but
I don't care. Cousin Eddie wants a word with Clark in the other room.
Right.
So
then it's just the two girls.
It's just Tatiana and
it's not Tatiana,
Liz.
it's Liz.
I know. And that's just what I'm calling them. And they're in the room together alone, and they're very awkward. And Liz mentions the cake.
No, she says, "Are you okay?" Like the top model girl didn't look okay, and she asked, "Are you okay?" And then that made the model, whose name is not Tatiana, but she kind of points at like the cake box, and she says, "It tastes like shit," with an accent.
Tastes like sheet.
Sheet. Yes.
In a very Russian mail order bride accent.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of accent. He did say she was like somewhere in the east or whatever. But anyway, so where were we? They come back in.
Tatiana said, "Cake tastes like sheet." So their evening wraps up, and Liz is asleep, and she dreams, of course, of running water.
No. You skip a whole good part right here. So once the cousin and the model left.
Oh, yeah.
She was a little like, upset, I guess. I don't know. But eventually they get over it and they start making out. And, she's trying to make a move, but he stops her because there is cake. And we shall eat cake. So he goes and, tries to, goes to open the cake, and she's like, I don't like chocolate. And the cake is chocolate. And he doesn't care.
So now also, too, they've been together for a year.
That's right.
And he now realizes she doesn't like chocolate, which again, who doesn't like chocolate?
But even if you don't like chocolate, your partner should know that you don't like chocolate. I think that's something that, should have come up in a conversation throughout the year. But here we go. He is a little bit pushy because he's cuts a slice for her. And let me tell you that cake looked so good. I want a cake.
He's very insistent
Yes,
that she eats the
a
cake,
slice of cake,
and then
which would put
he
me at
yeah,
on ease. I don't
he's
know.
kind of like, "How is it?" And she smiles, and she's got chocolate all over her teeth, and she goes, "Tastes like shit,"
Yeah,
just like Tatiana said it did.
yeah. Okay, so yeah. So
So
then,
so now she goes to bed,
yes. Oh,
and
and she kept eating it. Like for someone who didn't like cake.
yeah. Well, and again, here comes the running water into this.
Yeah, she had more dreams about
She's
water.
dreaming of running water, and
Mhm.
so
But
she
then she wakes up with a gun to her head.
yeah, it's
And
just a
then
quick flash of a vision of a
very,
rifle, a
yeah,
very
very
old
clear.
rifle to her head, and then wakes up. So again, it was another Inception dream.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And she starts walking. She gets up from the bed, starts walking around the cabin,
Mhm.
and she gets to the cake. And wouldn't you guess? She's like, hmm. She opens a cake or the box, and she goes ham on it.
Well, you could tell there's something weird in the cake, but you couldn't quite tell
Yeah, she puts her
what it
hand.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she starts eating this cake with her hands and just smearing it all over her
And
face and
do you think there
almost
was something else in that cake? Because it kind of looked like maybe fingers or something on the cake.
I don't know. It was hard to tell, but while she's eating it, she's almost in like a dream-like, trance-like state.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear in this state women screaming
Right.
while she's eating this cake with her
It was
hands.
almost like a hay fever.
A,
That part,
a hay fever? You mean a
isn't it?
fever dream?
Yeah, a fever dream. There you go. You know what I meant. So then, where are we now?
Well, we're in the woods with Tatiana,
Oh yes.
and she's out in the woods now. It's daytime, and of course she's trying to get a cell phone signal, which
Yeah,
of
she looks
course
lost.
she doesn't get because in horror movies people don't pay for really good
No,
cell phone providers.
well, just saying, you are in the middle of nowhere. You are in the woods.
Yeah, but
Chances are,
Liz always got a cell when she was talking to Maggie. She always got a
yeah,
cell phone.
you're right.
So
So, but she looks kind of lost, and she is without the cousin Dan.
cousin Eddie.
And so she's kind of resting by a tree, and we see something strange. You can't really.
Yeah, and we do notice she speaks a lot more English than she let on.
She
I mean
does say. She
that's a
does
minor
say.
point. Like can't get cell phone reception.
She says something about
Moose and
me need
squirrel.
Uber,
Yeah.
Uber. Which there's no road, so how are you gonna get an Uber over there? But anyway, we see a strange thing in one of the trees, and she does too. She sees something strange, but
And it jumps out and attacks her and lifts her like straight up the tree, straight up the trunk of the tree. And so we're just assuming that Tatiana is toast by now.
mm-hmm. So now we see it's Malcolm, and he's getting out of the bed, and Liz is not there. So he goes looking for her, and she is on the table, I guess next to where the cake was, and she's in some sort of trance because she's drawing on this like
Sketchpad.
sketch pad, but she's not really looking at it. She's kind of looking out that way as she's like drawing like that. So she's, I don't know, it looked like she was in some kind of trance, and then Malcolm kind of says something and snaps her out of it.
Yep, and she's starting to have visions now of other women, and Malcolm at this point too notices that the cake is completely eaten. He sees the
Yeah,
cake in the rest of
the
it,
box. Yep, yep.
and he's kind of worried about this. And we flash to what Liz was sketching, and
Mm-hmm.
it's sketches of all the women we saw in the opening montage.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's a montage, a montage.
So next scene, we see them in the woods. I guess they're walking, hiking, I don't know, but she stops by the creek, and she's sort of like taking in the whole scenery as he is like a few feet behind and kind of just watching her, which was kind of odd.
Yeah, she was just kind of standing there, like just staring into the
To the
water.
water.
And we get a quick flash of a scene that we think is in the past
Hmm.
of some woman down in the water. And it might have been even that same
Oh,
spot.
we see a lot of like whooshing down, like someone is dropped into the water,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. And we see two kids
Mm.
standing at the top of a hill looking down
Mm-hmm.
into this water, and we see a woman down there, and as quick as we see that, it flashes away.
And she sees something shiny in the
Yeah.
water by the by the rocks on the creek, and she goes to pick it up, and it's a necklace, like one of those
It's a
old
locket.
fashioned, yeah, that has
You
the
can
locket.
open it up,
But
and
she didn't open it at that time. She just took it,
yeah.
and I guess she's wearing it because later we see her kind of like fidgeting with it.
Yeah, when they get back in the cabin, she's just kind of laying there chilling, and she's wearing this necklace.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, Malcolm needs to leave. He's a doctor.
Yep.
And he says he has a patient at the hospital
Do you
who's
remember the name?
uh
It was a very specific
nope,
name.
I don't remember the name because I didn't write that down because it's
No.
kind of
It was a very specific name, though. It wasn't like, oh, Smith, my patient Smith. No, no, no. It was a very Mrs. something, right? And this patient of mine, she's supposed to come out of her coma, induced coma today, and her family's all there, and I have to be there, and I'm so sorry. So basically, he's ditching her, leaving her in a cabin by herself in the middle of nowhere. And she feels a little, I think she feels a little like, ugh. Like she's teary-eyed and everything. She's like, no, 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 go ahead, go,
yeah.
go.
But she
she's,
hasn't been feeling right this whole time.
she hasn't. She's all these like flashbacks or daydreams are really like starting to get to her. And so she feels unease. She calls her friend Maggie. And they end up in an argument.
Well, yeah, because Maggie is like, "Oh,
He
girl,
probably
he went back
to
to the
city
city to see his wife." And
So she's like feeding these things
yeah, you're
to her.
just feeding her paranoia a little bit about the relationship and feeding her insecurities. And she's like, "Girl, you're the side piece." And
So they end up having an argument, and Liz hangs up. While she was doing having this conversation, she was looking out the window with her little binoculars.
spying on Cousin Eddie's house.
Well, but there was no one there. However, she did see something, and she's like, she couldn't really figure out what we saw, but then she sees like at the bottom, on the side of the house of the cousin's house, there were some
Trash
garbage
bags.
bags, yeah, and one of them happens to be like kind of open, and a head, or she thinks she saw a head
Yeah.
roll out.
A face like looking out of a rip in the garbage bag. And that was a really effective jump scare.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was
I like
actually
that.
yeah, that was pretty effective.
But then when she once she goes like back, 'cause she also has like a jump scare, and she goes back to look at it, there was nothing. They were just like tied up garbage bags. So she is like what the hell, you know?
So again, it's another vision. She's kind of
Yeah.
and I took it when I saw that, I took that as Tatiana's face. The model.
Oh.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. But anyway, she
We have more running
suddenly-
water.
Yes, but suddenly she wakes up on the looks almost like a bench area, not really like a couch, more like a bench. And she wakes up, I guess.
Well,
we can
she
assume.
took a nap after she called her friend and was spying on Cousin Eddie.
And I mean, we assume that she took a nap and she's getting up, and she realizes that she got her period, because she looks down and there's blood, and then she gets up and there's blood on the cushion. So,
And she's trying to clean that up, and I'm
yep.
like, girl, I even know you ain't gonna get that stain out.
But anyway, she hears something in the cabin at that point, and didn't you see? I thought at that time, I thought it was dark outside, but later on it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so maybe it's just me.
She took a day nap.
But anyway, so she hears commotion, and she's like looking around, and all of a sudden we hear cousin Eddie. It's it's cousin Dan. It's not cousin Eddie.
Like, really, like, knocking at the front door.
Just kind of obnoxious, because she goes to the door and says, he's not here. He's in the city.
He yells. He's like, "Hey, Malcolm!" He's like, "I brought libations." He says, "I brought the drinks."
Mm-hmm.
And when she answers him, he's genuinely surprised that she answered and not Malcolm.
Right. And she's like, he's not here. He's in the city. And you could tell he was trying to be so pushy, like, "Oh, well, just open the door and da 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 da." And she's like, I don't feel comfortable. Can you come back later? And anyway, long story short, instead of her ignoring the red flags, and this happens a lot, she opens the door.
She notices the red flags, but she ignores them.
Well, that's what I said. She ignores. She knows, she sees them, but she ignores them. So at this time, she opens the door. He comes in, and he's like trying to get her to drink what he brought.
Scotch.
Oh, scotch. That's right. And she's like, no, maybe I'll be right back. And she goes to the bathroom. Which, by the way, she had told her friend that it was the only room in the entire place that had like
a lock.
Door and a locked. So she goes to the bathroom. I'm assuming because she feels
she just needs a minute to kind of collect herself, and she hears a lot of stomping around, and we see a shot of a drawer opening up and cousin Eddie taking out a cleaver.
Yep.
And he starts stalking around the place with this cleaver, and you kind of assume maybe he's coming after her.
But he passes.
Yeah, he knows she's in the bathroom, but he never goes to the bathroom. No. So you're kind of like, what's this dude stalking around the place with a meat cleaver for?
Now, here's something that happened, and honestly, I wish we were seeing it at home, because I would have rewind this part. We have no idea what happened, but something happens. The screen in the movie theater is so dark that it is so hard. It was so hard to see. What do you think happened?
Well, something happened to cousin Eddie.
Something did.
Because
something did happen.
She runs down to
the basement
at this point, and never kind of sees cousin Eddie on her way down.
We don't see him at all.
Yeah.
But something happened. I think it had to do something with a wall, because I feel like there was some arms that reached out, and maybe he was brought into the wall. I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, it was so dark. Like the screen was really dark.
Well, I think even if the screen wasn't dark, it was meant to be ambiguous anyway. And so she goes down to the basement, and she calls Malcolm. He's not picking up his phone, and she's leaving a voicemail like, "Hey, I want you to come home." But then music starts playing upstairs while she's down there,
which happens to be the same tune of whoever was humming before when she was in a bathtub. And so it's the same tune, but it's like an old timey record player playing this. And so she goes up to the stairs, up to like the kitchen, and gets really startled because the freaking food disposal
the garbage
goes
disposal
off. The
goes off on its own.
Yeah, it went off on its own. And She does something that I can never do. And this is
Well,
if you're a Final Fantasy, I'm sorry, a Final Destination kind of person, you know that you don't ever put your whole hand inside of a
so there's
garbage
so
disposal.
there's two things in movies that always piss me off, and it's when somebody calls somebody on the phone and they just let it ring and ring and ring, and I'm like, pick up the damn phone. And it's when people stick their hands in garbage disposals. Like, you're a grown ass adult. You should know better than to stick your hand in a garbage disposal. But she
But she
does.
does, and nothing happened. But
No.
she does pick what appears to be cousin Dan's watch, gold watch.
Yeah. So at this point, we don't see Cousin Eddie, but we know his watch is in the garbage disposal. And at this point, now she has a vision
Mm-hmm.
of another woman with a plastic bag over her head.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that now?
Uh huh.
Okay, so
And then we see another box
yeah, she
that looks
sees
like a
this.
box of cake,
Yeah,
and
she
it's got
sees
a
it. Let's
heart
go
on it.
back to this figure with the bag around her head. She's standing there in the kitchen, and there's this apparition of a person that looks. It was very like a scary thing, and then she kind of goes like that, and then she's gone. So she's all gone, and then she sees the box cake and like a brand new cake, which I'm thinking, damn, I want some freaking chocolate cake.
So at this point, Liz calls her friend again,
Mm-hmm.
and she wants her to come. She wants Maggie to come and pick her up.
But there's like this bad connection or
Well, interference
something.
because it's a horror movie,
Yes.
so cell phones don't work in horror movies.
Yeah.
And she says something's wrong in this place. Something's wrong with me. I
But it
don't
almost
feel
sounds,
right.
and it almost sounds like her friend is telling her to stay, or that she wasn't going to come and
Well,
pick her up or
yeah,
something.
yeah, and you don't know at this point. It casts some doubt that this is even Maggie she's actually
It's
talking
true.
to.
That's true. Yeah.
But what is really cool and what I thought was funny with you in the movie theater is we see this very tall, kind of hairless, gray, bald figure, and
Yes.
its neck
Oh,
starts
it's
extending
like behind her.
behind her. She doesn't see it. The neck just starts extending. And she's sitting there in the movie theater going, look, look, do you see that? Do you see it? I'm like, yeah, I see it.
No,
And she's like,
because
yeah, 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 look, 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 look.
no, because see, he was typing in his phone all this, and I'm thinking he's missing this. He's missing this. There's someone behind her. But yeah, he's like, yeah, I see it. I see it.
So after all this,
Oh wait, so then Malcolm pulls in
mm-hmm,
because so we see the car. Well, Liz also sees the car pulling in, and I think at this point she's a little relieved, but also she acts very like upset, annoyed,
and Malcolm is
aggravated,
genuinely surprised to
surprised to
still
see
see her
her.
there.
Yeah. I don't know if he wanted her gone or if he was. Well, we
Well,
do know later, but
at this point, you know there's something
mhm,
going on, and you get the sense that Malcolm knows what it is.
yes.
And you have Cousin Eddie and Malcolm both surprised
Mm-hmm.
to see
That
Liz
she's still there.
still there, and
Mm-hmm. So when he comes in, she is just yelling at him like, I don't know what's going on. Your cousin came, and there's this woman. Is she the person?
there's this butterface woman with a bag
Yeah, with a
over
bag
her
over her
head.
head, and there's another cake. Was that the person who made the cake? And she's rambling, and she just wants to be gone. She's like, I want to leave. I want to leave now. Like she is very, very like matter of fact, and I'm not playing around. However,
Well,
she
Malcolm's
plays
like,
around.
yep. Well, Malcolm's like, just give me a half an hour.
Right. Oh, and he brings fucking a bottle of wine.
Yeah, he comes up there and his hands in his there, and there's a couple subtle things in this movie, and I thought that worked really well because he's got his hand like inside his jacket, and she's like, "What do you have?" like what's in your hand, and
Mm.
you think, is he going to pull it out and there's going to be a gun and now we're going to get to it,
Mm.
or he pulls out a bottle of wine.
He
And
tries to like smooth
so
things over.
she's had visions, horrifying visions. She senses something is wrong. She wants to leave, but she's like, ah, shit, he's got wine. I guess I'll stay.
You know, good wine. You can't say no to good wine. And so she stays
Mm-hmm.
again,
And he's very
ignoring the red.
apologetic for leaving
Yes.
her there.
And he's again. How do you get your notes to be so big?
What?
Your notes are so big. Mine are
I thought
so
you said
tiny.
my nose.
No. Your notes. Your notes. I can't get them to be bigger. But anyway.
You can put your glasses on.
Yeah. Okay, so she stays. And he tells her patient died. And she's visually upset about it. Like, she's like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. And then she mentions the patient's name. And he's so fucking stupid. He's like, wait, who?
Yeah. So right now, he just got caught in a lie.
He did.
That he never went back to the city, was never in the hospital.
No, because he looked like a deer in the headlights. Like, huh? And she goes like, what the fuck?
Which to me was kind of a big plot hole.
Yeah.
Because we find out later that this dude is doing something very specific. So you figure he would remember the name.
Well, because I don't think he needed to remember anything else anymore.
Well, I think he thought she was going to be gone by then.
Exactly. So that's when she gets up. She goes to the bathroom again because it's the only place that locks. And
she flat out asks him, "Are you married? Did you go back to the city to see your wife?"
Well, he unlocks the door to the bathroom, and he actually says, gotcha, this doesn't really lock.
Yeah, and
he's like, no, I'm not married. But just then, she had just seen a picture.
well, she comes out of the bathroom and sees a picture laying on the floor, just randomly, it just got there, of him with this other family.
And
But
so,
you can
two
tell by the
kids.
picture they're dressed differently. It looks like a really old
Really
picture.
old.
But he doesn't look any different.
No. And so she asked, like, is this you? Like, how can this be you?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, that was a long time ago. Yeah. And
so she's like, well, like, who is she? And he's like, again, like, that was a long time ago. And she wants to leave. She yells at him, like, who the fuck are you? And at the same time that she yells this, we see a flashback of another woman in the same spot, different woman, same spot, yelling the same thing, who the fuck or who are you? Right?
yeah, so this scenario now has happened in this house with him before.
Mm-hmm.
So he says he needs to talk to her and explain things, and now he starts to come clean, and the plot starts to reveal itself a little more.
Mm-hmm. He does say that he loves her. He doesn't want her to suffer or be in pain. But then he starts telling this toll story.
Well, he says the cake, first of all, he says he knew something was wrong because the cake was supposed to knock her out. And she ate
one slice.
Yeah, and she ate the whole
The whole thing.
And he knew then something was different about her.
Yeah. And then he starts, this is when I stopped taking notes because honestly I was like, okay, I'm invested. Tell it.
Oh, okay, so I'll take this then. So
okay, I mean I still remember, but go ahead.
she explained earlier, like, I saw a woman with a bag over her head, and he says that her visions are not of women, but they are things in the woods.
Actually, didn't he say,
well, that they are presenting
themselves
they're
to her
presenting themselves as these women,
which is an odd thing to say.
There are things in the woods, And we kind of have a flashback now where we go back to the earlier scene where it was the two kids
Mm-hmm.
looking down.
And you
And
can tell that this is like a very old.
yeah, and he's telling her this story, and he
Mhm.
says this happened 200 years ago.
And
And
him and his cousin were
and him
little.
is when him and his cousin were little. So
Mhm.
now we know that Malcolm is over, he's claiming anyway to be over 200 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And that they saw this woman in the woods who looks just like Liz.
Just like her, except she was pregnant.
And that, yes, she was pregnant, and
Very
that
pregnant.
she, long story short, gave birth
Mm-hmm.
to these things that
Well,
are
no.
now manifesting
True,
themselves.
but when the kids saw her and the woman saw the kids, the woman saw that they were hunting, they were out hunting, because that's what kids do in the 1600s. And the kids
Well, if it's 200 years ago, it's not the 1600s.
that's what they said. I don't know.
No,
They said 1630.
that wasn't 200 years ago then.
Must be 1830. I'm off by like 400
400
years.
years.
So the kids are like with their big rifles, and they are like pointed at her, and she notices. She starts running. They shoot at her, and I don't think they actually like hit her, but she falls
they
to the
hit her,
ground.
but it was a non-fatal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, she falls to the ground, but then when the kids get to where she wasn't there. Or was she there?
Yeah, because
she
they
was
they
there.
get her and they
get
bring her
They
back
bring
to
her
the
back
barn
with the
and
pigs.
throw her in the barn with the pigs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when they go back to check on her, she has given birth.
To several things.
Several weird, slimy
They don't know
things. We don't know.
Like they I think they said like what was like, they didn't know what it was.
So the story we get now from Malcolm is that there are creatures, and he's telling this to Liz. He's laying the whole thing out to her, that there are creatures living in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and that they have granted and made a deal with Malcolm and Cousin Eddie,
Mm-hmm.
that as long as they sacrifice people to satisfy their hunger, that Malcolm and Eddie will basically live forever.
Mm-hmm.
They've been granted eternal.
So that's
life.
what they have been doing for 200 years. Just bring women. Why women?
Well, because he's a dude.
Well,
So they're gonna bring women
they
back
could have.
generally.
They could have brought men.
Yeah, but they're
I think that's sexist.
they're heterosexual guys, and they're bringing back women's.
Maybe they were heterosexual 200 years ago.
You don't know what they went through.
I think they should have brought men too, because
Maybe
you know
maybe they
men deserve to die too. I'm just saying.
maybe he was like, I don't like men's no more.
So obviously she's not buying any of this.
Well, he flat out tells her, you're gonna die.
Right.
You're gonna die in this
tonight.
house.
You're gonna die tonight.
Like soon, like any minute now.
Yeah. And I'm sorry. I wish there was something I could do, but I mean, basically we get that he's not doing the killing. He's just facilitating. Him and his cousin have been facilitating the killings for 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So
what kind of creatures are these?
Well, she's running through the house. She's trying to escape.
Mm-hmm. He lets her.
Yeah, because he knows none of the doors are open. And none of the doors will open.
Okay.
And at this point, she grabs her cell phone. She's up at the top of the steps, and of course it doesn't work. It's dead. And there's something crawling up the steps, and we get a really cool rotating camera shot of this thing crawling up on the ceiling.
Yeah, it was a good scene.
And we get the obligatory horror movie scene where she's looking at her cell phone, and we see some drips. on the top of the cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
So we know this
Okay.
thing's on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And she ends up actually getting out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
and she's out on literally like scaling the facade of the house on the outside. And of course, she's over running water, and
She falls.
she falls in.
Mm-hmm. And then we cut to
And well,
she is
at this point, you kind of think that maybe she got away.
mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going on with Liz
Mm-hmm.
yet.
But we do see her then. Oh, so now we see Malcolm, and he's carefully putting all of Liz's last earthly possessions in a box and puts her name on it. Goes down to where all of the other trophies are, and
All the other boxes with all the other women's name.
yep. And he starts he introduces Liz to all the other women that are there in boxes because it's like their last earth.
And every time he says a woman's name,
Mm-hmm.
we see a
We see like
quick cut of her
Mhm.
screaming, so we
Mhm.
know these are all the other women that have
A lot of
died
screaming.
at the hands of these creatures.
Mhm.
And of Malcolm.
And now we see Liz.
Well, we assume Liz is dead then at this point.
Right.
But
Well, she's not.
and that'll go into my scores.
Mm. So now we see her it looks like a basement or a cellar, if you will. And there is an altar that she sees.
Well, she wakes up, a light clicks on, and she wakes up and she's laying at the bottom of the stairs
Mm-hmm.
in this basement. And yeah, it looks like there's an altar, and one of the creatures is down there with her.
Let me tell you, if nothing else, these fucking creatures they're scary.
This one, there's a couple different types of creatures. But the one that was down with her was like pale white, bald, hairless,
big mouth open,
and just had like all kinds
dripping.
of famunda coming out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
We call it famunda because it comes famunda.
Uh-huh. It was really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Special effects were really on point. I think that one was the one that did it the most for me. Now, I will say that the other one that had the bag on,
Mm-hmm.
we'll get to that. So, this creature, big white pale thing, it starts lighting up the candles around the altar. And now we see it is an altar.
Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, there's another creature coming down
The steps, yes. And we see it coming slowly. And I think that's the one with the bag on its head.
No.
Okay.
The one with the bag on its head comes out of like the darkness in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And when it takes the bag off its head, it's got one head with about 3 or 4 faces.
That
on
was
the same head.
amazing.
Yeah, that was.
I have never seen that. That was really good. Really trippy. Are you seeing double, triple, quadruple? But it was really effective. Yeah.
So these things see Liz, and we get the sense that since Liz looks exactly like the woman 200 years ago, these creatures have spared her because they think that she is their mother.
Mom. Yeah. So that's exactly what I felt. I felt like, okay, they think that's the mom, and they are not there to kill her. They are there to protect her. And a lot of hands on the face.
A lot of heavy petting.
Yeah, very.
And
and they're laughing.
They just surround her and they're petting her, and
She's laughing.
Liz at this point, you can tell she kind of breaks.
I felt like it was more like she connected.
It could have been. I think at that moment, I think she went a little cray-cray, but
I mean, could have been. I mean,
yeah,
I would have.
And so she's screaming in the basement, and we flash upstairs to Malcolm sitting there, and he hears her screaming, So he just assumes she's done.
Yeah.
And so he just cranks up the music because he doesn't need to hear
You don't
that.
want to hear that. I mean,
Yep.
so then he wakes up.
Well, he falls asleep first.
Yeah. And then he wakes up. And is he dying?
Well, he wakes up and
Because
starts
there's
violently coughing.
That's right. So yeah, he's in bed. He wakes up, and we don't know if he's dying, but it sounds like he's coughing to his death. And then we see the long neck creature.
So at that point, I just assumed that Liz was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
He woke up, started coughing because the deal had been broken.
Mm-hmm.
And so he
But you saw the long neck creature.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was aging rapidly, and then we see like the entrance to his bedroom, and we see the long neck creature, the neck expand and come out. And we hear Malcolm scream.
Mm-hmm. So then we cut to a scene where we see an old guy, and he looks.
Yeah. Well, this happened at night, and then we flash to the morning, and it's light out. Yep. And there's this old guy hanging upside down. And we know at this point it's Malcolm.
Yep. And he's screaming, and Liz shows up.
Well, he cries out for help, but he tries to, but he can barely talk. So we know he's
old, and
very, very, very old.
I mean, 200 years old?
No.
He didn't quite look
That
like
was another thing,
Yeah.
too. Like, I would have thought if
should've
the deal
been-
was broken, he probably should have just died.
Yeah. He could have been like bones and dust or, whatever. But there he is. He's upside down. And she comes in, and he begs her
Well,
to cut him down.
What does she have?
She has cake.
Uh-huh.
And she cuts it.
Yeah, well, she says the creatures want her to stay.
Yeah.
And her eyes her eyes are black.
Oh, like pitch black. Like her eyes are like, and she looks all refreshed. She looks like she belongs there. Didn't she have like a dress?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like she was
all gussied up.
Yeah. And we see this interaction upside down. So we see him right side up, but we see her upside down. So it was a really cool scene.
Mm-hmm.
And she tries to feed him the cake.
She's like, I'm gonna feed you the cake. And one of the coolest comedic little sojourns was when she's like, here comes the airplane. And she forces him to eat the cake.
Mm-hmm.
And
he eats it.
Then
and he wants more.
They just dunk him upside down in this jar of red goo.
No, he wasn't dunked. It was more like he was
lowered into it. He was dunked into it.
And so there was this big of a jar full of like this red goo. And I wish it wouldn't have looked fake. Because the goo did not look real.
What does real goo look like?
I don't know, like jam? Jelly?
Raspberry?
Mm.
Do you always eat raspberry when you look at radar? So the movie then abruptly ends.
Yep. And that is it. This is the end of the movie.
So I did enjoy a lot of aspects of this movie, but it did kind of leave me wanting a little more.
It fell flat.
Well, it was a slow burn. It kept you going. It kept you guessing. I thought that it could have gotten to it a little quicker. Because we did a lot of slow burn.
I like the slow burn.
I do too, but then I want to get it going towards the thing. And quite frankly, I kind of guessed what was happening.
Really?
Yeah, about halfway through the movie. I kind of knew that all these other women died. Now I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't
you
know
knew
they
that.
didn't die directly
Yeah, I
from
mean,
Malcolm's hand,
I knew they died because of him.
but I never got the sense ever in this movie that Liz was in any danger. Now Osgood Perkins has kind of thrown a curveball in some of his other movies, and things happen that you didn't think were going to happen. But in this movie, I never really thought that Liz was in any kind of danger,
See, I didn't take it
especially
that way.
especially when they revealed that the woman who gave birth to these things looked just like
So
her.
that's when
I'm like, she's not gonna die.
right. That's but that wasn't even brought up until much later. I think
No, but
this
but
movie
but
was
still, it just reaffirmed what I was thinking.
I think this movie was I thought the pace was good. I thought the slow burn and everything was building up to a good spot. I don't think there was enough character development to really get to know the characters or to really get to see where they were and how we're here.
Well, I think Liz had some good development. I think Malcolm did not, but I think that was intentional.
And one thing we did talk about this after the movie is that the fact that Liz's character, what is it, Tatiana,
Huh?
um,
Tatiana's the model.
okay, the
Liz's character is
Liz's
Liz.
character, Liz's actress, Milani, something.
Okay, I got you.
So I thought she outshined um the male character. I think her performance was out of this world. I think she did such a great job at showing her emotions, showing the progression of hysteria and the downward spiral that her performance outshined everybody else in this movie. I think if she was the only character in this movie, it was still would have been amazing.
Yeah, and it was really she definitely did carry the movie because the movie is it's a one location movie.
And that's a hard thing to do.
And so she really really did a great job.
And there aren't that many other characters in the movie, but we did watch a short video of some other people kind of throwing shade at the male, the what is his name?
Malcolm.
Yes, Malcolm. But it's no, I don't agree that he wasn't a good cast. I think that she just did so much better.
Well, one of the
It could have
criticisms
been anyone.
one of the
for his
criticisms of this
character.
movie was that his character was very distant, but that was the point of it.
Right. I
The
think
point of it was he
yeah,
didn't want to get attached,
right.
because
He knew.
he was bringing her back
Yeah.
to sacrifice her.
Yeah. It's like you bringing home a chicken that you know you're gonna cook.
Wow,
you don't want to get attached to it. You know, you're gonna cook it. You're gonna eat it. So, you're not gonna play with it and give it a name.
All right, so let's get to our scores.
All right, scoring. We have 3 categories for our special scoring and rating. But our first category is the plot. So, what do you think?
So there were some issues with the plot. I think the concept was original. I think there were some holes. Like I said, I never really felt like the protagonist was ever really in any danger.
Really?
No. I never
Before
No.
before we found out that, I mean, to me, when they see the woman in the woods, I can only imagine that she is some sort of witch.
Yeah. You save your stuff for your score.
Okay.
So I do think the plot was original. I think that the concept of the story was original. I think the pacing was a little too slow, even though I do like a slow burn. But I'm still going to give it a 4 out of 5 red jars of goop.
Red jars of goop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Um. So to me, the plot had a lot of holes. I do think it was very original. I do think it was. I think in for my own liking, the pacing wasn't too slow. I just think that the third act was too quick. um, so it builds up, builds up, builds up, but then it kind of like, ugh, you know. I would have liked a little bit more in the third act, and it kind of went too fast, too quick, and so there were a few holes in the plot. I think the death of
Cousin Eddie.
Cousin Eddie, was not very, it was kind of like put in the back burn. Like, we don't really care much about him anymore. And why? Why? Why did he die? Because he did bring his sacrifice, and she was
Yeah,
killed.
he was going to sacrifice Tatiana, and she
Not
did get
Tatiana, but
sacrificed, and you wonder why he got
yeah,
killed because he
yeah.
fulfilled his part of the bargain.
Yeah. So there were a couple of things that kind of bother me. Um, for that reason, I will give it a 2. 2 cakes, chocolate cakes out of 5.
Yeah, you better write that down so you can do maths later.
2.
Okay. So,
So the next category is acting
mhm.
and directing.
And I think the lead actress. We're going to look at her name here, Tatiana
See, it
Maslany.
is Tatiana.
Yeah, well, she was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely carried the movie. I don't think the other performances were bad, but I don't think they were up to her level.
No,
Some of that was intentional, I think.
I think so too.
But as far as directing, maybe it's because Osgood Perkins has set the bar so high for his other films. Uh, I I enjoyed the movie, but I think it could have done a lot of stuff differently. I think the pacing could have been a little better. I think they could have gotten to the payoff a little quicker and done more with that. Um, it set me up for something that, in my mind, never really came. And I think they could have explored the creatures a little more. So I am going to give it a 3.
Okay. So the acting and the directing. You already know how I feel about the acting. I think Tatiana Maslany did an amazing job. I don't think I remember her much from The Monkey, and I don't remember her really much from anything else. So she really
She
caught my
was in
attention.
Orphan Black, the
Oh, I remember
series.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but this is a movie that I will remember her from. She did amazing. I think she nailed everything. Her emotions were felt, her annoyance, and her everything she did was really good. Um, I wish I could say the same thing for the other characters, but hey, really, it wasn't even that big of a deal because she, like we mentioned before, she carried the movie. Now, directing, I thought the directing was great. Could have been better? Yes. Was it one of his best? No. I think he did his best with what he had. Now, with all that in mind, I will give it 3 chocolate cakes out of 5. I think that's pretty generous considering this wasn't his best. Yeah. So, our last category is rewatchability. And what do you think?
So I do think this movie, despite its flaws, has a pretty decent rewatchability score. I think there's some things that you could probably see on the second viewing, third viewing, that you'd pick up on
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't pick up on the first one. But that being said, with the slow burn this is, and the final act outcome, that doesn't impact the rewatchability. It's just you'd watch this movie just purely for, was there something that I missed that might have given this away earlier? So rewatchability, considering you know what's going to happen, and most of this movie is a slow burn, I give it a 2. I will rewatch it, just to make sure there was stuff I didn't miss because I was taking notes. But I think it's a testament to Osgood Perkins that he has set the bar so high that I would be disappointed with anything less than like a
Yeah.
13 or a 14 out of 15
Yeah.
for our scores.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I think that it both helped him and hurt him because people are going to go see this movie because it's an Osgood Perkins movie. But I think they're going to be disappointed in it in some respect because it's an Osgood
Yeah.
Perkins movie and he set the bar so high.
Yeah.
So my overall score is a 9 out of 15.
Okay, that's one of the lowest that we've had.
Which to me it's an above average movie. It definitely has its good points. The score
Mm-hmm.
I thought was really good. Visually, the movie was stunning. Some of the acting performances were really good, but it took a while to get to the point. And once it got to it, I think it kind of fell a little flat for me.
So, well, what's your final score?
9.
Okay. So, for my rewatchability, I have to agree. I I could see myself watching this again to see what I missed and see if I could pick up some other details that I might have missed the first time. Um, I do agree that people will go watch this movie because it's Oswald
Osgood?
Osgood Perkins.
There you go. You
Yeah.
got it.
And they I feel like most people will be let down a little bit because you're expecting a higher, you know, caliber from him already. Um I will give this a rewatchability score of 3 out of 5 chocolate cakes. And so that brings it down to a 9 also.
Really? Oh yeah, because you gave the plot
Mm-hmm.
a 2.
So my final score is 9 out of 15 chocolate cakes, which is a very low score considering we have been doing like 12, 13,
Well, we've
15.
also reviewed a lot of movies that we picked
Yeah.
because we liked them, so they were going to get a good score.
Yeah.
I would say, there's nothing in this movie that you're going to miss if you don't go see it in the theater.
Yeah, I would say just wait.
Wait till it comes out
Yeah,
on streaming.
I would
and
say
check
just
it
like,
out.
save your money unless you like, movie popcorn, which we love. Um, but if you can wait, just wait. I don't think it's one of his best movies. I think if I would have to say Monkey, the Monkey is would probably rank higher just because it was so much fun.
Well, when you do The Black Coat's Daughter and Long
Oh my
Legs,
god. And
that's
long
that's
legs.
that's setting the bar pretty high. And
Yeah. 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 So we had high expectations for this. I think what made it for me the most was the creatures.
Creature design was impeccable,
Yeah, yeah.
and you know, Tatiana, her acting performance was also
I think
impeccable.
she
Yeah,
blew it out of the park.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a
So,
lot of good stuff about this movie, but there's a lot of stuff to me that I was kind of like, ugh.
hmm. Okay, so
What time is it?
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
it's another time for a shot.
So, in keeping with our game themes, it's my turn to guess.
Yeah, because last episode we did the animal ones and I got good scores.
Mm-hmm. So we always try and come up with a game
This is for game time.
that has something to do with the movie we watched.
Yep.
So Vanessa came up with a game this time.
So we are talking about cabins in the woods.
Since
Now,
this movie takes place exclusively in
exclusively.
a cabin slash house in the woods. So
Mhm.
if you're watching this and you want to play along at home, try and guess, and
Try and guess.
this should be good.
Okay. I got my glasses on, so you know I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first movie for game time. The first movie is this movie is a movie you did not want to watch with me. Uh it has some director that I really like in movies.
I know the movie you're talking about. I can't think of the name. Is it something like Knock Twice or Knock Knock? Knock at the door. Knock at the cabin door. M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes, it was M. Night Shyamalan, and it was Knock on the Wood, Knock at the Cabin. Oh my God, 2023 Knock at the Cabin with Dave Bautista. I thought it was a good movie. He didn't want to watch it. It was in a cabin in the
Okay,
woods.
so I got that one. Let's go to the next one.
Okay, the next one I know you like, and I know you've seen. It takes place in a remote winter cabin. It's a family retreat. Dad goes in with two of his kids and his new wife.
Oh, darn it. Oh, The Lodge.
It is The Lodge
Which
from
we'll have to review that one because I
Yeah.
absolutely love that movie. and
2019,
it's
The
one of the
Lodge.
most messed up movies you'll ever see. Very good movie.
Yeah. This one is an older movie and takes place
In a
with
cabin in the woods.
four friends who were friends when they were kids and then they reunite when they're older and they go on a hunting trip and they get stuck in this cabin during a blizzard.
Oh, is it Dreamcatcher?
Yes, it is Dreamcatcher 2003.
One of my favorites. Not the greatest movie, but I
Well,
but I
no,
do like.
I thought it
do
was a
like
great
the
movie. The end fell flat, but
Yeah,
it's Stephen King.
great book. Read
Yeah,
the book. Great
Stephen
book.
King.
The
It's
book's always better.
yeah. Oh, always. Okay, so 3 for 3. Good job. Okay, this next movie we love,
Okay, well, it's not the one I was thinking of then.
and there's just two nice guys in a cabin in a woods.
Tucker and Dale versus.
God damn it!
Which we will review. We'll keep that for maybe like April Fool's review.
Yeah. So, in case you missed that, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's a funny comedy horror.
One of the best comedy
Yes.
horrors of all time.
Hey, college kids.
Mhm.
Okay. Next one is even older. than the last. Than
It better be the
last
one I'm
feeling.
thinking of. I'm going to be so disappointed if this is.
So this also takes place in the winter in a cabin
Nope, not what I'm thinking of.
after the main character gets into a car crash.
Misery?
Okay, 1990, Misery, one of my favorite Stephen King movies.
Do you have any more on your list?
Yeah, one more.
Okay, good.
Okay. This movie is set in the 1600s.
Oh, darn it. Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. It takes place mainly in a cabin with the whole family.
In the 1600s,
Mm-hmm.
a family in a
Mm-hmm.
cabin in the 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
Judas Priest.
I can't give you any more clues because you'll know what it is.
1600s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They get run out of their village.
Oh, The Witch.
Yeah.
That's not a cabin in the woods movie.
They lived in a cabin and they were in the woods.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
So how did you come up with a list of cabin in the woods movies and did not put Evil Dead?
I did not
Oh,
want to
that-
put Evil Dead because that's one of your favorite movies.
The whole series is one of my
I
favorites.
did not. I almost did, and then I scratched it off because I knew you would get that.
I got all of them anyway.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Cabin in the woods movie
Okay,
without Evil Dead.
where can we see us? Well,
You can see us on YouTube.
mm-hmm.
You can hear us on Spotify and Apple.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find us, give us a good rating.
Yeah.
Help us out. Leave some comments on our YouTube channel. We will respond to you. We're looking for engagement. We're looking to talk to you guys. If there is a movie you want us to review, we will review it. We have done that already. We had one suggestion. And
If you
we
want to
did
get a
it.
shout out, you'll get a shout out
Yep.
if you give us a movie
Yep.
to review.
Yep. We'll mention your name and that you asked us to review it and
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Also, if you have a creepy cocktail that you want us to try out, or a game that you want us to do,
Mm-hmm.
or a local business that you want us to shout out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and subscribe and like.
And thank you for watching, listening. We love you guys, and we are out. No Evil Dead.
No Evil Dead.